I need to talk a little bit more about the fallout of Charlie Kirk's death. I think that it's really important that we diagnose what's wrong with our society. And based on the reaction that I've seen of people across the media, people that I know personally on Facebook and Instagram, depending on the politics of their individual views, they're either very sad about what happened or very glad and celebrating it, which is very strange to me. That's a disturbing sentiment to have. My initial reaction to seeing the news, and for the record, I have seen the video where he is shot. It is macabre and it's disturbing. I didn't really feel anything, and I still don't. I'm sort of numb to this. What with all the school shootings and the stabbings on the train and the deaths in Israel and Ukraine and Gaza and all the horrible stuff that's going on. It's very hard to feel anything right now. It's that's not a healthy way to deal with it. It's certainly not something that I recommend. It's very scary to see all these horrible things going on and just be desensitized to it. I didn't feel anything, and I don't feel anything. But I think that speaks more to what's wrong with our society rather than the gravity of the situations at hand. We live in a chronically online world where people live in their own bubbles, and depending on how they view things, they're going to determine whether or not this death is a tragedy or it's a good thing or it's indifferent. I feel I'm a little disturbed that I see people talking about empathy and compassion while applauding the murder of a guy on the internet. And it's super strange that people who are condemning this action, who are crying about it, feel totally differently about the starving kids in Gaza. And it's just a casualty of war. It sucks, but there's nothing we can do. Moving on. Sucks to be them, I guess. And why we're like this as a society, I'm not sure. I don't think people care really. It's very symptomatic of the chronic onlineness, the political thought bubbles we live in, what with the media honing in all these things because they want to get ratings, so they sell fear. People want clicks, people want views, people want all this and that. I do too. So I've talked a fair share about politics on this channel. I've made jokes, I've mentioned things, and so I'm certainly part of the problem to a certain extent. It feels like people are so fake nowadays. I think first of all, being an outsider, always having trouble connecting with people and being accepted. One of the benefits of that, one of the few benefits of that, is that I get to be on the outside looking in. So I see things that the people on the left and the right are, but they're not willing to admit. People are selectively compassionate. People decide whether or not something is unfortunate or if it's good or they're indifferent. And I think the only thing I can really suggest, because I'm not a political commentator, I don't have a huge audience. You know, I'm talking to people who are going to click off after 15 seconds because my videos are boring or something. So I feel extra frustrated because even if I say go to church, read the Bible, you know, the good book, being part of a community, being part of something bigger than myself, I don't think that it's a bad thing. I think it's good to humble yourself. When people get involved in politics and social media trends and cliques and all that stuff, they get they get lost in themselves. They're self-absorbed. It's all about them, which is why people feel justified when they murder a person like Charlie Kirk or invade another country or something. And in spite of the fact that I don't have a solution, I'm not here to talk about, mental health or gun violence or whatever. That stuff is gonna be around until the end of time. And we've seen political violence before, right? Presidents have been assassinated, governors, senators, all that stuff. Charlie Kirk's tragic end is just another number, which is probably the most unfortunate part about all of this, is that people are pretending like this is something new when it isn't. And I'm just numb. Like I don't care. And the reason for that is because I don't find people to be genuine a lot of the time. My first clue to when I realized people were full of crap was when, I want to say it was when George Floyd was killed. I saw people I was friends with on Instagram and Facebook, posting BLM, Black Lives Matter, showing their support. They want justice for George Floyd. So I thought, okay, these people are very passionate about what they believe in, and maybe something will happen. So when the cop went to jail, people are, there's nuances and all that. But when that happened, I was fully expecting these people to be happy or to celebrate or to, justice, yay. And none of them had anything to say. It was completely wiped from memory. They moved on because it wasn't about George Floyd's death. It wasn't about police brutality or Black Lives Matter or anything like that. It was about making noise, and it was about being angry in a void. And that's it. They only cared to the extent that they could be angry. So I feel like it's going to be the same way with Charlie Kirk. People are going to be pissed for a week, and then we're going to move on. And the next tragic thing that's going to happen is going to be the moment that wakes us up until the next thing happens after that. So I don't know how to feel about social issues anymore. I've talked about politics, as I've said. I think the only thing I can really suggest is to go to church and build a community and be kind to people. The left wing has perversed compassion and empathy into meaning destroy your enemies, kill them, shoot them in the neck. And the right wing doesn't like that, but it's all phony. And everything about politics today seems fake and disingenuous, and it's frustrating because unless you pick a side, you're the bad guy. So I don't have a solution. I mean, no one cares, like I'm talking to a void right now, basically. But I still hope that Charlie's wife and kids are okay. Pray for them. If you do, that's a good thing. It's good to care about other people, because true happiness comes from what you do for others, not what others do for you. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating to live in a world where empathy and compassion are weaponized against each other. These two sides are gonna be destroying each other till the end of time. And unfortunately, I don't have the means to make change at all, let alone be even a blip on the radar. So, go to church. I heard they captured the shooter, which is good. Hopefully, justice is served, and God bless Charlie Kirk. I never watched his content. I said that in my previous video. I mentioned that in my short. I don't watch his content. Never did. Didn't appeal to me. But it's sad that people feel like the only way they can feel safe is to kill each other. And that speaks more to about society than it does a left or right wing issue. So I don't know. Is this video going to change anything? No, I doubt it. But I just wanted to share my thoughts on the status of the world as we live in. It's unfortunate, but that is the reality. And people are going to blame each other. They're not going to look at themselves. They're not going to solve their own problems. Relying on politics and focus groups and bubbles is it's the same thing as going to a doctor. A doctor's not going to tell you to eat healthy or go to the gym or go to church or anything. He's going to give you a drug to treat the symptoms instead of getting you to make the change yourself. And that's what politics is. People want the clicks. People want the views. I get neither, so I'm comfortable talking about this. Like, who cares? Who's going to get upset? Nobody. So the benefit of that is that I can say what I want without ruffling any feathers. So it's strange to be numb, because a normal person should be upset. A normal person should be heartbroken. A normal person should be scared, and I'm none of those things. I'm disappointed. I'm annoyed. But it's unfortunate. And I want all you guys to stay safe out there. I want you guys to speak freely. I don't care if you're right or left wing. Come in my comments. Say whatever you want. I'm okay with being a free speech basin. I don't mind. So, go to church, I guess. I don't know. Guys, thank you so much for watching for the first 10 seconds, whatever. But if you want the world to change, you have to be the change. You can't rely on others to change it for you. So do with that what you will. God bless.